What's going on, everybody? Doc, your average gamer guys, back again. Last day on Earth action. And a different video here for you today, and actually a pretty exciting one. Roadmap 2024 has recently dropped. If you are in the Discord, or either the Last Day on Earth Discord or our Discord, links in the description, you probably saw the notification. I popped in there and I just shared a brief comment that said, this is pretty exciting. We'll have to check it out in a little bit more detail. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk Roadmap 2024. I'm going to give some thoughts. They have done a pretty good job of detailing out what this looks like, but there's obviously some things that they've left, we'll say, open for interpretation a little bit. So we'll dive in. We'll talk about that. And let's do that right now. So plans for the rest of 2024. So the cool part about this is that there's only a couple of months left. Right, so there's some big updates on their way that could be the things that I think a lot of the community are looking for. Events are great. Revamping some of the events as part of the season has been good. We're going to see a little bit more of that, I think, as part of this roadmap. But more importantly, seeing some new locations, some new bosses, some new long-term content is coming to the game, and that's pretty big. So here's what it looks like. This is a pretty cool little graphic. They've got updated events. This is Headhunting, Arena, and Big Hunt. Now, here's the thing. I actually personally like Big Hunt. I thought it was pretty well done, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Headhunting Arena is kind of interesting. I also think the Arena was one of the events that people actually really enjoyed. Rewards were great. If you were far enough into the game, you could beat this with relative ease as well. So it was a really, really easy way to get some weapon mod blueprints and some other things. So I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do with that. New bosses. We got this guy that's hanging out. New weapons. This is a 4-barrel shotgun. So I don't really know what to make of that. That's interesting. But new weapons is always really cool. One of the biggest things that we'll spend a few minutes talking about is repair station. That's huge. New resources. This looks like a type of metal. It's not tungsten. It's not tungsten. So don't get your hopes up, but some new resources. A new dog breed and equipment for dogs is pretty cool. A whole lot of quality of life changes. This encompasses like the fall update, it looks like, from what they say. There's going to be readjustments to the northern region. You see this little map here. They have talked about essentially realigning the map into different regions, which is kind of a cool concept and could be really interesting, could shift some things around. This map is kind of small and hard to see, but it does look different. Some things have shifted around, so we'll have to kind of see what that looks like. Improved workstations. This is one I have been a big proponent for, which is being able to improve the workstations, upgrade them, spend resources to do that. And then there's a couple events, Halloween, Christmas, Black Friday they talked about, and making some changes and adjustments to those. So that's it in a snapshot. Let's dive in. So we're planning certain changes in the gaming process for the fall. Survivors can expect a new playthrough concept. The northern region will become the first updated territory as players will be able to farm new currency that can be exchanged for completely new, unique rewards. You'll have to stock up on some warm clothes. So get prepared here for this next update by getting your warm clothes ready. Contents of the northern region. They're going to change the locations, enemies, and icy armor. We have seen these already. What's cool about this is, in addition to new locations, new resources, we're going to see new blueprints unique to those locations. For those that didn't get a chance to play, I forget what it, Winter of Despair, I think the event was called. For those that didn't get a chance to play, we saw weapon mods basically aligned to fire, right? We saw Dragon's Breath on some shotguns, and I'm trying to think what other weapons. And then we saw Molotov cocktails. We saw the Scorcher. I have a strong sense that stuff will be coming back because that's what eliminated icy armor. And it was really cool. It was really neat. I think if they continue to work down towards this path, having weapons and then having I hate to say having to have modifications, but the way that they've done armor has made it so that you could go there without that specific armor defeating blueprint or weapon mod and still been successful. Obviously, it's going to take longer. It's going to take more durability, but you could still kill the enemies, which was a good change. If they do this and you have the opportunity to go farm blueprints and do those things, then your weapons are going to feel much more unique. You're going to have to prepare a little bit differently. I think that's going to be really, really cool. I'm excited for new resources, although I'm hesitant here. I'm going to be honest, I'm hesitant. And the reason I'm hesitant is because a lot of times with new resources, we see where they're not used a whole lot. There's a ton of resources right now in the game that I think they could make use of. For instance, gunpowder. Gunpowder is like just not used. You can do a few things with it, but it's a very high-end material, but there's not a lot of reason to use it at the moment because the guns that you use it for, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Again, you can make like C4 and some other stuff with it, which isn't bad. It's just a very expensive craft. So it'd be kind of interesting to see, take some of the current resources and apply these hopefully to some new blueprints or some things that we can build. I think would be really, really cool. New bosses. It says boss is, which is cool. So that's always fun, which means new opportunities for drops and different things. So I'm excited about that. New weapons that are effective in the region. This part is really cool. I would love to see the opportunity to get things like the Scorcher and Molotov cocktails at a higher frequency. I think that's really neat. And then this part is really cool. This is, I think, is going to be neat for everybody, regardless of where you are, is a new chapter in Survivor's Path dedicated to the northern region. Typically with Survivor's Path, what we have seen is you get the opportunity to unlock some good stuff. You really do. If you complete through it, if you work through it, even if you're free to play, if you make it through those different specific Survivor's Path chapters, you usually get some decent stuff. In this case, I would expect maybe you see like a blueprint or something that could be really helpful. So I'm very, very excited about this because this is what I have been hoping for, which is consistent content that's new, right? New content that's essentially for everybody. Obviously, it's worth saying that the northern region in the game is probably it's probably like the middle of the road in terms of progression, right? You start out, you go to the woods and you go to, where you can go and get all of your stone and stuff like that. Then you progress to some of the other locations like the farm and stuff like that. Then you kind of head up to the northern region, but most people probably don't go to the northern region at all, which is honestly probably a big reason of why they're changing this one first, because at least the other ones you use for basic resources, I really don't know anybody that goes and farms in the northern region for anything because it's really not worth it. So I like that change. I'm super excited about that. So do expect that if you're like really new in the game, some of this stuff might be inaccessible to you until you progress a little bit. For most players, though, they should probably be at a point where they can go and progress to this and have some fun and check out some of the new stuff. So that's really cool. QOL changes, quality of life, single cooldown. Most of the timers in the game will be resetting at the same time. This is a huge one that I have seen a ton, like an absolute ton. What's going to be interesting about this is making sure that this single cooldown is reasonable. So part of the issue with this is if you're smart and if you're raiding a lot, like we are on our free-to-play account right now, we can kind of game the system a little bit to make sure that we can hit these things. If this single cooldown is like 24 hours for everything, great. It's going to be really good. If it's not, and it's longer than that, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, and you might be able to grind a little bit less. We'll have to see what the actual timer is. So I'm hesitant on this one. I'm hoping that they do it right. But there's a world in which this one could get a little messed up and be a little messy, specific to raiding and trying to get some of the other things. So we'll see on that. Ability to indicate the number of items during crafting. I don't know what this means, with the exception that, let's say you're making bandages. Instead of clicking the bandage one time, you'll be able to click the bandage and then click 10 and then click craft and make 10 at once. If that's the case, which I think that's what this is, that's huge. That's great. That'll That's just, again, a good quality of life thing. Save people a whole bunch of time. Put everything down, claim everything from the chopper, just like we have for crates. This is great. Love that. Informative hits for items. Sure. I don't know. Sure. It can never, more information can never be bad. I like this one the most. At certain season levels, you'll be able to select a reward that would be most useful for you at the moment. I have a guess that this is going to probably be limited to the paid version. Could be wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong. Even if it is, still worth it. I've talked about this consistently in the past that I think the season pass is probably, if you're going to spend any money at all, the most value you can get out of the game, out of anything. So I would tell you to consider that if you have the means to be able to do it. If not, just free to play it. You get some great free rewards, but this could be really cool. The ability to even pick between a few things, right? And I'm hoping, I am just desperately hoping that they put in some freaking I'm so hoping. I don't even want to suggest this because I'll be super sad if I'm wrong, but I'm hoping that they go ahead and put in a variation of rewards for both your main base and your other base. We will see. We will see. I am really, really hopeful though that we see something for the settlement. We see something for the main base as options for this, because I think that could help a lot with the progression. Lots of folks have probably stalled out. Don't put a ton of time into the settlement because it's a huge grind. If you had the option during the season to pick a few things, I think that would be really, really big. So I should also note that most of the quality of life changes are introduced based on your requests and suggestions. If you did not know, on the main Last Day on Earth Discord, you can come down here to community input. I'm in the way, and hit suggestions, and people are just dropping in really good suggestions. I was going to do a video where I was going to talk through this because I think there's a lot of really cool stuff in here, and people are constantly commenting in this thing. So if you want to share your ideas, this is a great way to do it. Keep in mind that, be reasonable about it. I have seen some of this, which is like, make the game more free-to-play friendly and give us all the free things. It's like, okay, well, they're not going to probably do a whole lot with that, ladies and gentlemen, but be constructive with your feedback. A lot of the things that we're seeing here, like they said, are based on this. This is really cool. The one that they absolutely heard was they're going to add a repair station to the main base. This is a VIP zone exclusive, which I'm super surprised that they're doing this. This is going to allow you to restore durability of equipment and weapons. Improvements for certain workstations will be made available. Yes, I have been asking for this. This, I think, is the way to allow everybody to get more value out of their workbenches and to have options to drop in and spend resources. I am really hopeful that even if they took the current workstations that we have and allowed you to upgrade their levels, right? Level 2, level 3, whatever, level 4, just like we can do for crates and get additional space. If you could do that for workstations and decrease just the crafting time alone without even adding any additional capabilities to them, would be huge. Now we see a little bit of the upgrading potential, if you will, sort of with the settlement, but that's really more based on being able to get certain new types of items or materials opened up. I am super, super excited about this. I think this could be absolutely great. And then a repair station at the home base is astronomically huge. I cannot say how good that will be for everybody, for every single player. Having VIP station and now having 2 is kind of a neat thing and kind of unique. But having one at the main base, even if the timer sucks, and just expect the timer to suck on this, expect it to be 24 hours to repair a gun. That's still one free gun that you're repairing and being able to use, or a set of equipment, or whatever the case may be. I am so freaking excited for this. Probably out of everything in this, those 2 things are going to be absolutely awesome if they're implemented well. And the cool part is it gives them opportunities in the future to add additional workbench levels if they go that route. And then the new things that they add, they're not adding necessarily workbenches, right? Imagine they add tungsten into the game finally, which again is not coming, but if it was, maybe you have the opportunity to make tungsten or smelt tungsten at your advanced, furnace or whatever by upgrading it to level 3, right? Then you don't need to add an additional workstation. You can just improve upon the ones that you have. I think that's super, super cool. I'm very excited about that. So we're getting a new dog breed, which probably doesn't make a lot of people excited. Me personally, not super excited about this. I'm not sure what the St. Bernard's going to bring that we don't have already, but hopefully it's a good utility dog. The functionality of your loyal four-legged friends will be expanded. Thank you for this. I really hope they look at the breeding system. That's a major complaint for a lot of folks right now, and I think that needs a revamp, specifically for skills, right? Rolling for skills the first time is fine. Breeding 2 level 4 dogs and re-rolling every single skill to try to get True Friend, but then miss out on something that might be good. I hope for a system where we get to like maybe lock a skill or 2 and then re-roll for the rest would be 10 times better. We'll see if that ends up changing. The cool part is you get the capability to equip them with some extra equipment. I am imagining a world in which the St. Bernard becomes a utility dog, where we get the option to like have it hold things for us, expand our storage, which if that was the case would be super, super awesome. True Friend I still think is going to be difficult to get, but hopefully, I would love the option if you got a True Friend dog, if we could lock some of the traits while we're breeding, even if it's just like 2 of them and then re-rolling 2 other ones, you'd have such an easier capability of getting a really, really good True Friend over time. That's where I'm stuck at. I have a couple of good True Friend dogs, none that are fantastic. I have some good skills and some other level 4 dogs, which is great, and I use them, but I could do a lot there to really refine and get better dogs. And so hopefully there's some work that gets done with this. But extra equipment's cool. If we could give them like a vest, some storage options, maybe have them be able to hold some heals or something like that, could be really, really neat. So I'm excited about that. And again, it's going to be a good resource dump for anybody that's like later in the game and not sure, just like grinding their ATV or whatever the case may be. You probably have a good stockpile of items, and anytime we get to build extra things is really nice because you can drop in a whole bunch of items typically. So we're going to see the traditional Halloween event with improvements, up to rewards. Black Friday sale will be here. New Year's event is coming. They're going to give presents. That's cool. Changes are going to involve updating locations, organizing them into regions. Adding bosses is going to allow us to construct a logical progression that will grant us the opportunity to integrate completely new routes and resources for your future adventures in the Wastelands. That's their plan for the rest of the year. They're already working on the fall updates and keep doing the zombie apocalypse thing. I'm very excited about this if they deliver on this. And what I can tell is that they're thinking about the logical progression to be able to add in the new things. Now, here's what's interesting. Here's what's really interesting. The Forlorn Fair is pictured here, guys and gals. The Forlorn Fair is pictured here. I don't know if that means it's coming back. But if it does come back around Halloween or Black Friday, I think a lot of people will be really happy. Forlorn Fair is a very, very, very well received. So it'd be really cool to see this come back again. I know for free to play, I would love it. To try to see if I can't get through stage 2 would be really awesome. So I'm excited about this. Updated events, we're going to continue to see some things again with the season progression. So that's cool. The ability to select some rewards is awesome. New weapons, new dogs, quality of life stuff, new resources. That is huge. Fall update, I think, is going to be absolutely awesome. I'm really hopeful that it hits before Halloween. That'd be really, really cool. That way we could kind of check that stuff out. Then kind of get into like the Halloween, Christmas, those sets of events and some of the stuff that they bring that's really fun and unique with that. So it could be a really fun last couple of months of this year here for Last Day on Earth. So let me know what you think. If you want to go check this out, again, join our Discord. You can go join the Last Day on Earth official Discord if you like, but our Last Day on Earth Discord, we have a channel for it. It posts every official update from the Last Day on Earth official Discord. So if you want to hang out there, you can also post cool raids that you have or any milestones, chat with folks in there, as well as the comments down below. Links in the description for all that good stuff. Let me know what you think about this. Wanted to do a deep dive and give some thoughts, things I'm excited about, things that I'm a little not nervous about, but just I'm hoping that they align right. But I think overall going to be really, really good. And I'm excited for the northern region to become important again. Like I said, most people, let me know if you go there at all. I'm going to guess that most people don't. I really am. I'm going to guess that most people don't, because there's not a whole lot of reason to at this point. So adding in a new reason to head there is absolutely awesome. Excited about new blueprints. I'm excited about new enemies, new bosses, new things to explore. Going to be really, really good. So we will definitely cover it whenever it's coming out. Hopefully we get some additional heads up and get some sneak peeks here hopefully soon. I would expect probably around October we would see it. That's just my guess. They're already working on some things. Hopefully before Halloween. That way it could be fresh, like I said, and then we hit Halloween, Christmas, all that stuff. That'll keep us extra busy as we get into the end of the year. So very excited about that. So thanks for checking this one out. Thanks for checking this video out. If you're interested in more Last Day on Earth content, we have a metric ton of it. We have a whole lot of playlists. We have our regular Last Day on Earth content where we post fun stuff, different things that we're doing. We have our Wasteland Survival Guide, which is basically all of our tips and tricks, deep dives on specific subjects. So go check that out. And then we have a huge free-to-play series, and we're making some awesome progression. So if you want to go back and see how we started our journey, really would recommend that. It's a ton of fun. It's been an awesome series, and we're just having a blast continuing to progress and hitting some raids now finally, which has been a huge game changer. So it's been awesome. Thank you so very much. Flashing some socials, do the YouTube thing, like, comment, subscribe. Trying to get to 10K subscribers by the end of the year. I know that's a stretch goal, but I really think we can do it. It takes everybody. So if you're not subscribed and you're checking this out, consider it. Really do appreciate that. Links in the description for a whole bunch of other stuff. If you enjoy Magic the Gathering content, we have a channel for that as well. We have a main channel. If you want to go check those two out, throw a sub at us over there. We'd really appreciate that. And then another good way to help support the channel besides likes and comments is go check out another video. We got a ton of them. So hopefully you'll find something that you enjoy. Thanks again for being here, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.